It was kind of equal parts good and bad. It seems like it was more good on the weekend than bad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I played great yesterday. It was 7 under coming to the last hole and made double. And then again today, 7 under, playing the last 3 and made a bogey on the way in. But yeah, I mean, look, game's there. Hitting plenty of good shots, giving myself plenty of chances. Obviously, it's a pretty easy golf course as the scores suggest this week. But I felt like I played pretty good the last 3 days, and game is definitely feeling better now than it did when I headed out here.
What specifically do you think you need to work on between now and the Masters?
Just limiting the mistakes more than anything else. Don't think it's really anything technical. But yeah, mostly just, I've sort of compounded errors this week a little bit, and last week as well. I had a really bad run there at the end of the tournament to go from wherever I was in the top 10 to outside the top 20. So yeah, it's basically that. When I get out of position, even today, I hit that. I didn't feel like I hit that bad a shot on 16. Hits the tree, comes back into the hazard. I'm trying to, be super cute to just land it on the green, get it close so I could see if par. Instead of just saying to myself, look, give yourself a putt from 10 or 12 feet. I'm trying to be, really, almost just too perfect, and I'm maybe just being a touch aggressive when I get myself out of position. So just taking my medicine a little bit more when I do. That was sort of the story of the week. It would have been nice to hold that birdie putt at the last. I would have made 30 birdies for the week. So I made 29, which is more than enough to win golf tournaments. I just need to cut out the mistakes.
Rory, it's obviously a strange circumstances this year. How does it feel going into an April Masters compared to this situation? Do you feel the same excitement or any kind of that it's just around the corner like normal, or not?
I like this more. Yeah. There's not as much hype. Not as much, just noise. I sort of like this better.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe just because so much focus is on you going into it all the time.
Yeah, and just we're right in the thick of the season as well.
Yeah.
A little bit where, it's sort of, everyone's just trying to end their year on a high note, and take a bit of time off, enjoy the holidays, and, come back in the new year.
You've said on a number of occasions that there's plenty of good stuff in there. Just got to clean up the bad stuff. Since you've probably been on both sides of the fence, is it easier to clean up bad stuff than it is to score, to find good score?
Yeah, I think it's easier to eradicate bogeys than it is to find birdies. I think that's I'd say that's the...
Have you been in both spots?
Yeah. I've played tournaments where I feel like all I can do is make pars, which is not a bad thing, but at the end of the day, that's not what's going to give you chances to win tournaments. I'd much rather, if the bad spells are a little more like this, a little more up and down, but at least you're having the good holes and giving yourself chances for birdies, and that's the bad stuff then is that's easier, I think, to get rid of. That's a more conservative play off the tee. That's hitting it to the fat part of the green. It's all that sort. It's more of a strategy thing rather than, I think, finding birdies is more of, there's almost, you're putting so much pressure on yourself to do that.
Thanks.
2 quick things. You mentioned the 30 birdies. Did you keep track of that? Do you have a goal? It's interesting.
Yeah, number. I mean, so, after 2 days, I made 7 the first day, 8 the second day. So I'd made 15 birdies after 2 days and was not in the top 40. So I was pretty proud of that.
Oh, okay.
And then I just continued it on. I made 7 yesterday and 7 today. So it adds up to 29. So it was just, I kept saying to Harry every time I made a birdie, 23, 24, 25, he goes, that's not a good thing. You're 20th in the tournament, you made so many birdies. So just a running joke for the week. But, if I can keep making that many birdies every tournament, sooner or later I'm going to get rid of the bad stuff and I'm going to be right there.
A quick thing, you mentioned the noise and kind of going into the Masters. Have you watched much golf since the return on television? And what do you think of it compared to the other sports and how it's coming across on TV?
Yeah, I mean, I have watched quite a bit. It honestly doesn't seem that much different on TV than it does any other week with crowd. I mean, the crowds obviously add something, but I think they add more to an atmosphere when you're actually there and at the event. But I think it's been great. I think we were one of the first sports to start back, and I think that's been a great thing for our game. More people are playing, people are buying golf equipment. The whole golf industry and as a whole is, I don't want to, almost benefited from this whole thing. So not that that's not the goal at the end of the day, but the fact that we play outside, the fact that you can socially distance, it's been a wonderful thing for people to be able to do something during this pandemic.
Thanks.
Rory, you spoke a little bit about your 29 birdies throughout the tournament. As it stands right now, you're actually leading the RSM Birdies for Love Challenge.
Okay.
So if you do win, that means that they'll donate $50,000 to any charity of your choice.
Oh, nice.
Saying that, what does it feel like to be able to give back to any type of charity that you would choose?
Yeah, that's it's one of the great things being in the position that we find ourselves in is we can help people less fortunate than ourselves. I think the PGA Tour do a great job of that every week. We go to so many different communities throughout the states, and now with these international events, obviously supposed to be in Japan this week, being able to help communities and do good things internationally now as well. It's great to be a part of that, and I've got some of my own philanthropic interests that I support as well. So, but that's always once you get to a position where you can help others, it's a wonderful position to be in, and it's nice to be able to do it.
And you mentioned a little bit about already having some sort of philanthropical interest. Is there any charity in particular that you work very closely with that you may consider donating to?
I have to think about it. There's been quite a few charities back home in Ireland that I've worked with quite closely and donated money and. But yeah, I'd have to think about it. It's there's so many great causes out there, and I'm sure wherever the money goes, it'll be used, very well, and and good things will be done with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rory, will you go to Augusta before?
Yeah.
Prior?
I will. Couple of times, maybe. I might go up once and spend the night and play a couple of days, or maybe go up a couple of separate times.
So are you done with tournament golf? You're not playing Houston, or?
No, we're not going to play Houston. Augusta's my next one, and then I'll take a couple of months off after that and come back. Torrey, I think.
Great.
So, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.